We ask all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Excellent. I was reading this morning where during President Eisenhower's term that under God was added to the United States Pledge of Allegiance. It's not a DeWitt fun fact, but I mean, it's something, y'all. Come on. The quip was better than the fact, I know. All right, moving on. Agenda item number 4. This is recognition of visitors. This isn't public comment. If you wish to make a public comment today, or if you're going to be speaking at one of the upon one of the action items that I call later in the agenda, then you'll have a chance to be heard at that time. But this is where we welcome all the visitors, everybody that's here today. Thank you all for being here. And if you'd like to identify your name, and if you're here on behalf of an entity, the name of the entity for the court record, you may do so at this time.
Court. My name's I'm a local farmer out here in Beeville County. Office associate here, Jerry Casort. We're going to do a proclamation concerning saltwater conservation.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mr. Gaetano. Always good to see you, and nice to see you as well this morning, ma'am. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Ms. Hara Jenkins Morgan. I'm here on behalf of Upper Pet Preschool.
Ah, thank you for being here this morning, Ms. Morgan. Okay, is there anybody else? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 5, Commissioner's Court, opening remarks. I'm going to guess it's Commissioner Lenny.
Just take a pick, flip a coin.
No, I just did. You're it. You're up first.
All right. Good morning,
You're setting
everyone.
the tone. Just remember, you're setting the tone for how the rest of public comment goes.
Man, okay. Well, that's okay. I'll go ahead and pass to my. I attended a groundbreaking location here in Beeville with Habitat for Humanity. They are building a house for a couple that are badly in need. Also, we had our last leadership B County class, and we got one, well, not a class, but our graduation will be in May. Excited about that. I'm sure the entire class is. We've been going at it since September, so. Got with Road and Bridge about some needed repairs on Quiroga Street, as well as the bridge on Gaitan Lane. So you're welcome. Also, I want to thank Michelle Preston, Chris Maldonado, and Orlando for helping clean up the old State Bank and Trust parking lot. I had the lady that owns the yogurt shop, Patty Cox. She's doing the first annual car show here in Beeville. And she said she's expecting like 200 entries and hopefully around 2,000 people, which, okay. Anyone interested in doing that or going to that, it'll be this Saturday from like 9 to 3 p.m. there at the old, the parking lot in the back of the State Bank and Trust building. So we end up getting that parking lot cleaned up with their help. So also, County Road 301, 673, I want to thank TxDOT for taking care of that apron there. There was a lot of potholes in it. And then I attended the light fiber cord cutting ceremony, and also had a chance to speak with Mr. Sweeney, the VP of Sales and Marketing. And I want to thank Light Fiber. They have agreed to sponsor our class project for Leadership B County.
Oh, that's great.
So that's awesome.
And what is that project?
Well, I can't say right now, sir.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So,
Secret stuff.
yeah. So we're still in the mix of finalizing the artwork and the draft and everything. So anyway, with that, I will pass to my left.
Gentlemen, if y'all would, you might want to take some notes. We're going to talk about water resources and pharaoid flies this morning. Which one would you rather do first, Judge?
I think the pharaoid flies, that sounds really great.
Okay. Does anybody not know what a fire ant is?
I thought you were going to say pharaoid flies, and I was ready to raise my hand.
Well, we'll get to that one in a minute. Okay, we all are
Like the
having
old
problems
bait and switch here.
with fire ants because of the moisture, and they're coming up out of the ground. Okay, I want to take you back now about 25 years ago in Mineral, Texas. A group of men, retired educators, had this idea. They said, how can we get rid of fire ants? Well, Tom Keller was responsible for kind of getting this done. They got with A&M and they did a study. They said, well, there's a natural predator where the fire ants come from called a pharaoid parasitic fly. Okay, how do we get a hold of some of these flies and what can we do with them? I said, well, A&M has these flies. I said, well, okay, how can we get them into our fire ant population? What they literally did, they went to different mounds around Mineral, dug up part of the mound, put it in a box, took them to A&M. A&M had these pharaoid flies, these tiny little parasitic flies. They impregnated the fire ants with eggs. They brought them back, put them back in the same mound, because when I was with Parks and Wildlife, we had to study fire ants because we had millions of visitors in our parks. We had to know what to do. Fire ants don't like each other, so if you put this mound and this mound, they will fight to the death. Okay, the way the pharaoid flies impregnates the fire ant, the parasitic wasp lays an egg at the base of their skull. When it hatches, it eats the brain of the fire ant, which is not good for the fire ant. Okay, what happens? Once these fire ants figure out these pharaoid flies are in the area, they go nuts when one gets around the mound. They just go crazy. What I'm leading up to, basically, my ranch is about, as a crow flies, 1.5 miles from Mineral. I don't have any fire ants. I don't think there's any fire ants around Mineral. Now, this was done 20 or 25 years ago, and these pharaoid flies may have worked, because that part of B County, I don't see, if you're driving down the highway, you'll see the big fire ant mounds and all around. They're not up there. This may have actually worked. And it was a gentleman named Tom Keller. He was a retired educator. They got with A&M. Like I say, they went to the mounds, dug them up, took them up there, exposed them to the flies, brought them back, put them back. I don't know whether it worked or not, but I don't have any fire ants. Fire ants, the study we did on fire ants with Parks and Wildlife, they like shiny surfaces. They will go to your vehicle because it's shiny, and they fall off. That's why you see a lot of them along the edge of the road, especially in subdivisions and stuff. They fall off and they create a colony. Okay, when you find a fire ant colony, you need to get rid of it as soon as possible, because once it forms, it'll look like little volcanoes in the colony. That's when the winged males and the winged queens are fixing to leave the hive, leave the colony and go up. They go in the air and do a little mating dance, and then they fall out. When the queen falls out to start a new colony, she eats her wings for protein and stuff to get going. This starts a new colony. So the thing with fire ants, stay with them. You got to get them. You got to get them right away. Back when I was at Parks and Wildlife in Austin, there was a fire ant bait called Logic that they dropped all over the state of Texas by airplane. They thought that was a way to control the fire ant. Okay, it was actual bait. They had to take the bait and feed it to the queen, and it killed the queen. Once you kill a queen in a colony, the colony dies. They quit doing that after a couple of years because they found out not only were the fire ants eating the bait, but other type of ants and insects were eating the bait, and it was killing them also. What I personally use, I've tried several things, is something called Spectricide Mound Destroyer. What you want to do, get you a orange juice bottle or something and sprinkle it on the mound. Do not disturb the mound. If you disturb the mound, they're pretty smart. They know something's going on and they'll relocate. Just sprinkle it around, don't disturb it. And if you can pour a little water on it, put a little water on it, or if it's real humid or some dew, because the materials in that Spectricide, when moisture hits it, it forms a gas. That gas goes in the mound and kills the fire ants. So, any questions about fire ants, gentlemen?
No, this has been fascinating. Thank you.
But the pharaoid parasitic fly, it's a tiny, tiny little insect.
Where do we get that fly from?
Well, you probably have to check with A&M. Or, hey, you know what? Come to the ranch with a little bitty fly catcher, and we'll see if we can catch something. But something's going on up there because we don't have any fire ants.
That's really interesting.
So it could be it worked.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been any follow-up studies. I had a copy of the whole study at one time. I don't have it anymore. But it was quite extensive, and I'm sure that if you get with A&M and their research department, they can resurrect that thing, because it could be something we want to look at again. let's move from there to water resources. At the last Commissioners Court meeting, I referenced a brown book that I had. Now, I was off a few years on when it was published, but it was published in the 60s. And it lists all the water resources in B County in the 60s. They surveyed hundreds of water wells. They went to your uncle, my uncle, your folks. They went in the water well, they got the water levels, everything else, and it was all latitude and longitude. You can go back to every one of the wells and see where the water level was in the 60s and go from there. Some interesting stuff in the study, and what we're doing, the county's in the process of reproducing this booklet, so all the Commissioners Court will have a copy, and we're going to get one to the USDA, so they'll have a copy, because it's extremely valuable. It tells what the water level was in the 60s, and you can tell where we are now. Some information that's in this book. Have you ever wondered, we all hear about these underground rivers that are going underground. We don't know where they are, but the water's moving toward the coast. According to this book, it's moving southeastward across B County, all across the county, at a rate of 10 feet per year. In other words, if you drill a water well here, in 10 feet where that water well was drilled, that particular water is going to be 10 feet southeast toward the coast, according to the book. Okay, the water table averages about 50 feet below land surface. A total of 6,300 acre feet per year were being pumped back then in 1963 to supply the needs of B County. I'm sure it's a lot more now. In the 60s, ground level levels had declined only slightly in the last 25 years. The average decline in 17 wells was 2.4 feet since 1939. So it'd be interesting to go back in those wells now and see if the water level has declined. Okay, now this is the interesting part. How much groundwater is out there? They measured it. It's pretty accurate. Now, y'all have all heard the term an acre foot of water. That is 1 foot of water that covers an acre. It's 238,000 gallons of water. There were 10 million acre foot of water in, they call it transient storage in B County at that time. 10 million acre feet of water. And an acre foot of water is how much? 238,000 gallons? And it's available at depths less than 400 feet below the surface. So at that period of time, there was a lot of water available in B County. Now, like any place else, you can drill a well here and you don't hit water. You move over here 30 feet and you hit water. There's spots where you don't. But it's interesting information. And I think I told y'all we're trying to get a water class here in October through the Extension Service, where they will come in and teach you about your water well and the water stratas in B County. The Gulf Coast aquifer is here. And now we all know it moves southeast toward the coast. The Extension Service is trying to get me bound copies of the latest manual, which is 2025. They should be in this week, and each member of the court will get one of those. We'll get one of those to y'all also. But hopefully we can get that class in October. The one they did in 2018, each rancher, farmer, or whoever was interested with their water, they brought in water samples. And for a small fee, they tested your water sample as to the amount of arsenic and that sort of thing. I'm hoping they'll do that again. But it was an all-day class. We're trying to have this next one out at the Coliseum. So this is really a pretty valuable book. People that are developing subdivisions, when they have to say, okay, we're going to be able to supply water for 10 years in a subdivision, this is what they use, except they aren't available anymore. I think there's one in the library in Victoria and this one. I don't know where you would get a hold of it, but I know I loaned this one out because we had a subdivider wanting to put in a subdivision, and you've got to guarantee water for 10 years. Well, you can't, an engineer will not certify a water well is going to last 10 years, but a developer can take this and show the aquifer around that subdivision. Any questions, gentlemen?
I don't, but it's really fascinating. I appreciate it. Two good presentations this morning. Thank you.
You know what? I think I'll just stop on that, Judge, since I'm ahead right now. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Follow that, Commissioner Farias.
That's tough there. Good morning. Having a brush call on Airport Road, and there was some confusion on who, the county, city, back and forth, so this this got bounced around last week a few times and took a few days, but Molly over at Road and Bridge ended up with the meets and bounds, and she had them in her file, and we took them to the city. Mr. Henry Munoz reviewed those in the city, and we finally got those. The city owns or is responsible for everything on the northeast side of Airport Road. The county is responsible for the west side of that road. And they did go, as soon as they found out, they went and picked up their brush, they cleared up some of their debris, so it's not a mystery anymore, it's already on the books, everybody knows about it, so cleared that one up. I know the judge had a few calls in his
No,
office.
that's a good job. I remember when the city annexed that part of the community, and they were seeking to annex two parts and argued against both of them. And so I'm glad that they're cleaning up
Yes,
their street.
so they're taking responsibility now. A complaint was filed by Mr. Jimison in JP Court Precinct 3 for illegal dumping at the Windy Hills RV Park. So that is moving forward. He's following all the steps, and it's now going to be in the Justice of the Peace Precinct 3 Court and to see what goes on there. And we'll get that straightened out, maybe hopefully cleaned up. We had a preventative maintenance meeting at the EOC. Good information recorded, keeping up with all the buildings that are here at the county. Also moving forward, added some more detail to some of the upgrades that have been going on. And then in May, it's going to be, this coming month, next month, it's going to be up to the department heads, elected officials to review their buildings, their offices, and turn in their findings to our maintenance department. It's not up to the maintenance department, it's up to each one. So this is going to go on next month. They'll be getting an email. If you have some things that need to be got done in your office, bring them to that attention, or send an email or a work order, and then our Johnny Segura will take care of that. All right, and had 2B Development Authority meetings, more progress going on there. There's more announcements to be made. I can't announce any of that right now, but they are
More secrets.
more secret stuff going
Golly,
on.
just leaving us with
Come on,
bated
come
breath
on.
up
telling
here
you.
this morning, you guys.
All right, the pumps for the water storage tank at the sheriff's office and at the EOC were ordered. The delay was partly because of a change of contractor, and they are ordered. They're being built now. They're going to be put on a skid, and I'll have more pictures and information on how they come in. They should be ready in a couple of weeks.
Excellent.
So that's going forward. The courthouse grant, Phase 1, was submitted by Komatsu. The judge signed off on it last week on Phase 1, and that's one of the presentations we heard here last month. So that's going forward, and hopefully we'll know in July if they're awarding the grant.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, very much so. And got a call from Ms. Sophie Jimenez in a picture. They were very excited and very thankful to the court judge. The pump that they were about to lose there at their lift station was installed. I don't know whether it was fully operational or not, but
They're waiting
They
one
sh-
part, and then
the last one was on its final thread, and they got them up and they're installed there. So looking forward to that, and she wanted to thank the court for helping the city of Tynan out.
Was that the last, the emergency? It was like 12,000, is that right?
correct.
That's great.
Yeah,
So-
no, that really gonna help the residents in that area.
Good job.
Because they're about to not have any lift station operational there.
That's a problem.
So, Judge, Commissioners, with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Olivares.
Good. Good morning, everyone. Just following up, I guess there were a lot of meetings this past couple of weeks. I guess one of the big ones was I too, attended the Chamber of Commerce Leadership class. This time we visited a lot of the health facilities, which was very good, very informative. There are a lot of good things that's happening here in B County, especially when it comes to the hospital. I don't think people realize. So it's real good, real favorable, good facilities. Also, I attended the Main Street Board of Directors meeting. There are a lot of events that are coming up here in B County. I was pretty impressed with the amount of effort that's being put into it. And I didn't realize how big of a board that was that manages all those functions. Also, I attended the Papalote Volunteer Fire Department cook-off, which was a very good turnout. So hopefully they made a lot of money to support that facilities. And, being a small entity, it's real critical when they do these fundraisers to provide and get funding for equipment that they need to help fight fires. Also, I got some good news. AEP is finally moving forward with their light installation and throughout South Peak County, so I'm happy to hear that. There was a little bit delay on that, so hopefully we'll see some lights here real soon. A little bit of a challenge, we understand, with an email that didn't get read, so, but anyhow, it's moving forward. Also want to recognize Road and Bridge. They did a bunch of brush pickup and also prepped up some of the roads, County Road 628, for getting to reseal that road here pretty soon. Also, I did attend the preservation maintenance meeting, which was a good meeting. Thanks for facilitating. You did a great job. And you know, one of the things that I see with this group here is staying ahead of the game and doing just a little bit of preventive maintenance will go a long way. But, because if you don't, when this equipment breaks, it's going to cost a lot more than what you think. So I'm glad the county's taken a step forward, Judge. I know you was instrumental in that as well. The majority of my time over the past couple of weeks was at the Toledo Street Jail, and I'll cover that more. We have an agenda item for that.
It's not an operable jail, folks. He was there as part of construction project. Please proceed.
Yeah, that's true.
I should make that clear.
Renovation. Thank you. And with that, I'll pass it back to you.
Okay, great, thank
Great
you.
lead-in.
I will spare you all my voluminous comments. Moving on to agenda item number 6, public comment. Are there any members of the public who wish to address Commissioners Court? Now's the time. Hearing none, we'll move on. Agenda item number 7. The following items are of an administrative nature. Commissioners Court has been furnished documentation on each item, and all such items may be acted upon by one vote without being discussed separately unless requested by a commissioner or county judge.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Moving on, discuss and consider action on the following items. Agenda item number 8, approve resolution in support of regional coordination and sustainable water management in response to the South Texas water supply crisis. This is my agenda item. The form, gentlemen, I'd say is a draft working form, so any suggestions, ideas will be appreciated. It was created by Refugio County Judge Gigi Pointer. I really appreciate her leadership on this. It came about after a water discussion meeting over in Goliad County about 4 weeks ago now. And while it doesn't create any hard action items, it's a resolution that allows the county to uniformly join with our neighboring counties and declare our interest, our concern for our constituents, and our hope that any water solution to the Corpus Christi water crisis, of which is the Beeville water crisis, their water system is our water system. We are a limb on the tree of Corpus Christi's water delivery, at least in part. That any solution is one that would be born out of a group process where all stakeholders are looking at the issues, where everybody's interests are addressed and considered in making an ultimate decision. So that's it. I've opened the floor for discussion.
The document was very well written. I like the fact that it included a lot of collaboration between the various counties, so it's pretty good.
Great. Anything further? Any other discussion? I'd entertain a motion if anybody's so moved.
It's your item, sir.
Well, I don't want to make the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second, and I have a correction on.
Not politically. It doesn't matter to
And I
me.
have a correction on the statement I made earlier, after we do this.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Olivatos and a second from Commissioner DeWitt. Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
The correction I want to make, I misspoke a while ago, it's 326,000 gallons of water per acre foot, not 238. 326 plus. Thank you.
Excellent. Did you just do all that in your head? That's really impressive. That is impressive.
I had to draw a little square, though.
It's okay. Well, it's that modern math style. I still don't know how to do it. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 9, approved proclamation for Texas State Soil and Water Conservation Board to proclaim April 26th to May 3rd, 2026 as Texas Soil and Water Stewardship Week. We have Ms. Morgan and Mr. Gaitan here this morning. Do you have any presentation you'd like, or?
Would they like to read it in the record?
Again, I'm
Miss-
Arturo Gaitan, I'm the chairman for the B County Soil and Water Conservation. Past president from the South Texas Soil and Water Conservation, from the valley, from here down to the valley. They kicked me out and moved me up to Austin now. So I'm supposed to, but like I said, I'd like to thank the Commissioners Court for recognizing our proclamation of Stewardship Week in conjunction with Earth Day and everything else. But as far as concerns, as like you say, the water wells and all those systems, we do cost share for water well building system for livestock. And those would be our concerns, considering that Corpus is might deplete our water system. But as of this day, I'd like to, whereas healthy soil and clean water is a benefit to everyone. And whereas the fake conservation practices provide the soil, water, animals, plants, and air that can enrich standard of living, and whereas our security depends upon the robust management of natural resources, and whereas stewardship calls for each person to help conserve these precious resources. Therefore, I do proclaim April 25th to May 6th, 2026 as Texas Soil and Water Conservation Stewardship Week.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve?
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. I'll give it to Commissioner Lenny. The second. Any further discussion? Thank you for all you do for the community, the region, and the state. Thank you, Ms. Morgan. You have something you'd like to say? Ma'am?
Would you please sign the proclamation?
Of course. Once we vote on it and approve it, and I don't know, we'll see. And then after that, if it happens, well, even if it doesn't, if y'all still want a photograph, we'd love to take a photograph of both of y'all today. Although it would be a little bit weird if we just declined to sign your proclamation and then still have a photograph with you. But, you know, it's important to keep up appearances. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you. Come on up and bring you that document, and I'll sign it. Apologies in advance for all of the mistakes. No document, okay. Is that the one to sign? Please.
There you go.
Is that the one for signing?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I'm like, really, Albert? Really?
So do I.
Must have had one. Yeah.
All right, agenda item number 10. In my head, I was saying moving on. That's why it was agenda item number on. Probably nobody noticed that. But no. Oh, good. Okay, well, thank you. Then I wasn't just unnecessarily volunteering my mental capacity or lack thereof. Agenda item number 10, approved lease renewal agreement between B County and Upbring Head Start. We have Ms. Morgan. Did you have any presentation or anything? This isn't a controversial matter. I know we're big supporters of everything you bring to the community, and we just love being partners with you. So
Move to approve.
I've got a motion.
Second.
And a second with
I've
comment.
Got a motion and a second. Commissioner Olivatos?
Yeah, gentlemen, basically the same lease agreement that we approved last year, and it's going to carry forward from June 1 of this year all the way through May 31st of 2027. But pretty much all the document is exactly like it was.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Commissioner. Any further discussion? Keep doing what you're doing. Help our youth in the community. Like I say, we're so glad we're a part of your program. We have you here, and that y'all are a strong entity. Appreciate everything you do, man. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Moving on to agenda item number 11, approve the B County Declaration of Local State Disaster in support of the City of Beeville's water shortage emergency. This is something that we had initially passed back late 2025. We did not renew it, so we're putting it back on Commissioner's Court to renew it. No position has changed. It's still the same situation.
Move to approve, sir.
Second.
And Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
7 days?
So I'd look for a,
Anyway, no comment.
yeah,
Only
subject, would y'all consider, who made the motion?
I did.
Would you consider amending your motion for final revision by the county judge in conformance with Texas law?
I'll amend my motion.
Thank you.
No, second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second as amended. Thank you, Commissioner DeWitt, for highlighting that. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Okay. That's okay. Just remind me now. Moving on, agenda item number 12, approve and update additional funding for the Toledo Street Jail renovation project. Commissioner Olivatos, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, thank you, Judge. We have a little presentation here to kind of give you an overview of the spending and the funding that's been provided.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Frances Melvin, and I am the project manager and grant administrator for B County. Today, I'm going to be going over our B County Annex project. I'm here to provide a status update on the building. I'm happy to report that we are in the final stages of construction. All IT infrastructure is 100% complete, and the HVAC system is fully operational with all 4 units installed on the roof. Our electrical and interior construction are both sitting at 90% completion, and we are very close to the finish line. To be transparent regarding the budget, our original encumbered amount was $500,000. Currently, we have expanded $461,877 with $70,850 in remaining contracted obligations. Now, we did encounter a hurdle with the plumbing. We had to switch contractors to move the project forward. This resulted in an $18,000 increase for that specific phase. Because of this and the final contract totals, we are currently looking at a projected overage of approximately $32,727.
That's a good way to get us to agree quickly to something. Start off with a 300 and then drop it down to 36. Doesn't seem unreasonable at all.
Oh, man, that's a bargain.
I'm sorry, please continue.
The 2-week stabilization period, we are currently in the mandatory burn-in period for the ACs. Per the contractor, we must run the air for at least 2 weeks before the flooring can be installed. This stabilizes the environment and allows the plumbers to finish the work without damaging the new floors. Based on recommendations from the network people and our IT director, Craig Oliver, we're looking at adding a dedicated mini split AC for the IT room. This ensures that when we run the heat in the winter, we don't cook our server equipment, which will cause us to have to procure more. We are also finalizing quotes for a fire alarm system that will tie into our magnetic door locks. This is a critical safety feature so that the doors will automatically unlock in an emergency. Finally, we're looking at branding and removing the jail signage and replacing it with the word annex. I did create a photo in print and kind of worked taking the jail off, putting annex in. I know it's a little,
We have a separate agenda item for that.
right. But, and adding a
cost.
seal to the front door. We're also sourcing a manual breaker, an ATS breaker in the IT room for generator purchase in upcoming fiscal years. I'm currently gathering the exact numbers for these final items, fire alarm, IT, cooling, and signage. And once I have those as firm quotes, I can return to the court with a final budget amendment to request that. I did want to note, we did print a kind of our construction cost. I know it is very small printed, and I'm sorry.
It's not bad at all.
But I did want to bring your attention to,
We're listening, Franny.
though at this point, we are at about $32,000 over the 500 budget, we have saved $129,745 in the course of construction and renovation, so.
So we're saving money and
And
identifying some unknown factors
Yes.
that, with any renovation, unfortunately.
I think it's been great.
I also do want to say that increase for plumbing, that we don't know if that's apples to apples because the prior quote did not have
did
a
not have
detail.
a
So
breakdown.
for us to, I don't want that to be misunderstood that, to move on, we're spending that much.
Yeah.
We didn't have that
I
detail
didn't,
before.
yeah.
So.
I didn't have a breakdown in our previous plumber's quote. This one I did. He had quoted, the original had quoted 10,000 and just said for fixtures and install. This one is 18,000 more, but these are what we're doing. So it was a more cohesive quote in what we were having done.
If everything clicks, what's move-in date?
Once the floors are done, probably the end of May,
So June 1st, roughly.
June 1st. Yeah. And that's all I have. So I'll turn it back over to
So,
Commissioner.
thank you, Francis.
Good job.
Yeah, we have had a few challenges here on the plumbing sector. Wasn't anticipated. We kept working with the contractor, to try and get a lot of the information. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. So we saw the need. It was time to move on, to get the project moving, so we had to switch contractors. And of course, as you know, when you bring a new contractor on, there's additional items that are identified. And also the quality that we were seeing from the first contractor. We had a few disconnects that we even identified on Friday. As we turned the water on, water started leaking out of the ceiling, so we weren't anticipating that. But it happened, and this is where we are. And then in addition to that, with the fire troll, which is part of the fire protection, that was another one that we've been trying to get a price or cost estimate of what it would cost to get that back in service. Our initial thought was there's already a fire system in place, there's already an alarm system in place, just a matter of tuning it up and getting it back up and ringing again, right? Well, we got our price back in Friday, and I think myself, Madam Auditor, and our project manager here, we choked. So we couldn't get over the cost. So, but it is what it is. We're going to probably challenge it. Hopefully we can meet the code without having an impact on a building, but it is a cost, and I think we need to account for it if we have to move in that direction. So with that being said, I want the court to know that we've been working very hard. We've been working very hard on the budget. We saved about $120,000. And then unfortunately, we did have some uplift costs with some of the problems that we identified. So anyhow, with that being said, and looking at all the additional little items that are adding up, I would like to propose back to the court, we can work it a couple of different ways. Let me go ahead and make my motion, and then we could figure out what's the best way to do it. I have met with the auditor to identify, do we have the funding in place to finish the project, or do we need to just basically get it to a point where we can stop and move in and then figure out, do it in next year's budget, or we get it done now and be done with it. Keep in mind that the longer we wait, project is going up, the cost goes up like everything else. So anyhow, with that, I'd like to make a motion to the court to approve and not to exceed an additional $75,000 to complete the amount of work that's required. That's not saying we're going to spend this full $75,000, but if we can get that approval, it'll give the team an opportunity to completely fund and complete the project and then move forward with it. Madam Auditor, anything else you would like to add?
I'll second, the money's available.
So it's in 409. It's that other little pot that we had put aside for the software, which it looks like it's mostly going to come out of Fund 13, which is district clerk records management. But there's still some left, even if we have to pay more out of the general fund.
I totally agree with Commissioner Oliveris. It needs to be done now. While the contractors are here, before we move in, we need to do it right now.
Yes, I agree with that.
Does that include your fire in that
Yes.
75?
Yes,
That's everything.
That's turnkey.
turnkey. Yeah.
Last little
Well,
bit of paint.
I'm gonna,
that's what we're hoping for, you know. The fire troll threw us a big curve that we weren't anticipating. We got to now get with our fire marshal, thank you, to confirm if, do we really need to do all these requirements?
I'm gonna interject something here real quick. Mr. Blair has some bumps and bruises on the fire troll because of the hangers
Perfect
out there.
timing.
So he might have some
Okay.
good ideas and some good insights on your fire
Awesome.
business, because we're just getting through with that at the hangars over there.
Great, great
So
suggestion. Yeah, definitely,
He
I
might
will
have
be
some
getting
input
with you.
that
Okay.
well, that'll help too.
That helps.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Is 75,000 enough, or do we need to say not to exceed 100,000?
You know, Commissioner, I was gonna approach that, you know, and we had that discussion briefly this morning. I was gonna go with 100, just to be open here.
I like that number, I'll be honest with you.
And we just don't know what we're gonna find. That's the scary part, you know. Hopefully, we've identified everything. We did walkthroughs, and just when we think we got it covered, you know, something pops up, so.
I'll bring it back.
All right, so then I'll amend my motion, and I'd like to change my motion here to complete the project at $100,000.
I'll amend my second to not to exceed.
Not to exceed, thank you.
Y'all remember that game show? I can guess that song in 4 notes. This
We're close to it.
This is the reverse. All right. No, I want to thank Commissioner Olivares, Franny, April, everybody that's worked so hard on this project. It's been a quick turnaround, and we should note, and I know you said it, but I want to highlight that we set the initial budget concept. Hopefully we could make it work. Reality came in with our initial quotes. We were way over our budget, and y'all worked very, very hard to get back under budget. But like you so succinctly said, that there were other construction, issues and events that arose that have increased that cost. But great job. Thank y'all. Thank you for doing this.
Maintenance also, maintenance has really
Yeah.
saved us money because they're doing a lot of work themselves.
Largely unsung heroes in the county.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truly our maintenance.
Yeah, well said. John and his team have done an outstanding job. John has been a fill-in on days that I may have not been there, so we work very, very closely together to move the project forward. He's done a very good job.
It's great, and it's a big project, and it's a complicated project, and but it's a great project, I believe, for the future of B County.
It's going to be a big benefit when it's done.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 13, discuss a new name for Toledo Street Jail. Commissioner Olivares?
So Judge, that's another one, and just as I incidentally made a mistake this morning and call it the Toledo Street Jail, we think it's appropriate now to basically to rename it at a minimum cost of calling it the B County Annex, because it's not only going to support the voter administrative office, but also other offices at the time. By doing this, we're basically adding one letter to our signage, removing the jail, and then adding annex. And so I propose that we rename the jail to the B County Annex at this time.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second, just real quickly. I hate to be the one to have this discussion in public because I think the world of Sheriff Horn. But the new jail, is it named?
It's got Robert L. Horn on it.
It's got Carzales and.
The sheriff's office is Carlos
It's got
Salas,
both of them.
and the jail is Robert Horn. I think we ought to remove Mr. Horn's name and just make this the B County Annex.
Okay, so we can do that. I wasn't sure about.
It's just my opinion. Like I said, Sheriff Horn's great. We're still honoring his service.
His name's on the new.
Yeah, because we moved that name over because of that. We knew,
Okay.
at the time, we thought we were gonna, of course,
It's
Take
a
down that
possibility. It's
old
not an
one,
idea
so.
to put somebody else's name. I think B County Annex is
Okay, so
sufficiently
I'll
specific.
amend my motion to, number one, change the wording of the jail to annex, and then remove the Robert L. Horn from the signage.
I'll second that with a comment. If we remove his name, can we have the letters to present to Mr. Horn like we did the plaque?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, seriously. Okay, make that part of the
Yeah.
motion, sir.
Okay. I'd like to amend my motion that, first of all, we submit a letter to Mr. Horn, and then remove the word jail and add annex.
You said submit a letter?
I-
Submit the letters.
Oh, the letters. I
The
thought you-
letters.
Okay.
Give him the letters when we take them
Oh,
out.
okay, I'm thinking of
Try
a
again.
reading level,
Try
okay.
again.
All
One
right,
more
let's see,
time.
number 4,
One more
okay. So I want to amend my motion for the fourth time here. So number one, we're going to remove the lettering from the new annex building that we're going to call it and present that to Mr. Horn.
Yes.
And then we're going to remove the letters jail and add annex.
And I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? You know, as I'm sitting here, I was just looking at it and I was, I'm just kidding. So just for clarity, the motion was to remove the letters constituting the name Robert L. Horn from the building and submitting those to former Sheriff Horn. And then removing the word jail letters from the building and adding annex in its place. So that was your motion?
Yes, sir.
Was your second?
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion? Got another idea?
Well, just earlier, you had said
We
you'd
got
like to
time.
give
This
the
is
word
last agenda item.
letters jail to Mr. Horn as well.
Yes.
That wasn't part of the motion.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
You want to amend your motion?
Just-
Let's try it one more time. Let's be accurate. We got nothing but time, folks. We got nothing but, it's early.
Okay, number 5.
This
Okay,
might be a record, yeah.
Thank you for bringing that
I
up.
like setting records, you know. So I'm going to amend
Now
my
our sheriff's
motion.
just leaving. He's like, I can't wait for this. This is taking too damn long.
I'm going to amend my motion one more time, that on the existing building, that we remove the lettering Robert L. Horn and also the lettering of jail and present that to Mr. Horn.
I'll second that.
Wait,
So, hang on, I'm almost done. I don't want to go to number 6. And then also, we're going to change the naming of the building to the B County Annex, removing the letters jail
And adding annex.
and adding annex
In place of jail.
in place of jail.
I'll second that.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. You got that, Cindy? Okay, perfect.
Hurry.
There's no further discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. That was fun. We have no executive session items today. We're moving all the way on to agenda item number 14, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all for your time this morning.
And that's the way you spell Pharaoh.